learn. What did they come and learn? They came to learn how to homeschool their children. That was what they came to learn. And they learned and they learned. So it's not just about you working as a teacher. It's also about you learning this so that you can be able to work with the children in your setting. And we are helping school systems thrive. We are helping school systems thrive with lifelong learning experiences, demonstration and implementation. So if we come to your school, we sit with you, we work with your teachers, we make sure that you have the right, when they say you are handheld, somebody is holding your hands to make you know what you're supposed to do with the children. Somebody is holding you, and that is why we needed to get our own school. Do you understand? Because when we come and tell you those things, you're like, how do you want to do it? Okay. Good morning. I want to make welcome our people. Hi. Okay. So good morning, Ma. Good morning, sir. Dr. Jude and director. Good morning. Good morning. Can the teacher say good morning, Ma? Good morning. That is TRCN headquarters all the way from Abuja.
Good morning, Ma.
Good morning. So we are here at EduCrest, and this are a number of teachers that are able to show up today for this observation learning. And it's such a delight to have you here. They were supposed to fly in, but we had to redesign the whole arrangement so that it can be a win-win for all. Flight and money for accommodation will make your body to pay. So I will say thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much, sir, for allowing us to redesign this in a hybrid way. And some teachers are also joining us live in our YouTube, and I must say thank you so much for having us. I'll just take you through introducing you to EduCrest, and I will introduce myself right again. We started a couple of minutes ago before you joined us. So my name is Odetunde-Israel, and I'm the lead coach of EduCrest NES Institute, and this is what I do for a living. Like I tell people, I say I talk for a living. Before getting to school, I had actually loved to talk. And when I saw that this is what I could do, I like to influence others. I like to make sure that others have an idea of what I have experienced in the field of working with children. So I decided to make sure that we bet Mr. Emmanuel. Thank you.
Miss Favor, deal with you too.
Thank you. So thank you, Mr. Emmanuel. So introducing myself, over the past 15 years, I've been working with children and their families. I've been working with parents, children, school owners. I started my career as a teaching assistant in a very big school in Lagos, and that gave me a good background into the field of early years. And shortly after then, of course, I was in school. I came back from school. I went into, I did my NC, I did my degree, and I have been able to work with, from that stage, I've been working step after step. I became a preschool leader, and then I became a primary supervisor, and then I became a school, an entire secondary school leader, and then I moved into consulting. So by the time I was 8 years in my career, I had already settled into consulting as a full-time job. Then I didn't have a good understanding of what it means to set up a proper institution, but then I kept on going into schools, from school to school, educating them about the right processes on how to educate the children better. And that's now bettered the EduCrest Institute. Over the past couple of years, we've trained over 3,000 teachers. Quote me, we have teachers that have learned even from Ghana, from Zimbabwe, that did our courses online. We had a shootout during COVID. That was when we were able to hit into the market more, because we started EduCrest because we were very, very concerned about teachers having to think about transportation before they have to train. That was a big concern for me, and I thought, or myself and my team thought about, how do we bridge the gap between teachers improvement learning and qualifications, and of course the finances that will be added to it, and then the security of their lives if they needed to travel so long when they have to think about money for transportation, they think about their accommodation, they think about so many things before getting certified. And that was one of the things that made us to launch into online learning space. We started the EdPress Institute as an online teacher training institute right from start. It was so when COVID struck, it was easy for us to fall into the market. Like every of our teachers were already learning online before COVID even struck. So by the time COVID struck, it changed the whole game of online teachers training, and that helped us to also get into the market because we already had a structure and teachers were able to learn with us. That being said, that was how EdPress started. And I would work with teachers over the time. We could not do lots of certification because, of course, we were mindful of the fact that we must ensure that we have the proper accreditations in place before we were able to go into certifications. But that did not deter us from putting them into lab. We did lots of free, when I say lots of free training, lots of continuing professional development training, making sure that teachers have the right understanding on how to work with children. And of course, myself and my team, they are industry leaders. They have worked with teachers, they have worked with schools, they have helped people start up schools, they have worked with even parents. And even during COVID, even till now, we still have lots of parents that come to us. Some churches actually come to us for us to help train their teachers in their children's church, and that is what we have been doing. And that will now lead us into our vision. So what we do at EdPress is that for us to be a leader in the LES training, we are more into LES. So if you see our name, we say EdPress LES Institute, because we are more into the LES, because we know that if you can get it right at the foundation, you will be able to do amazingly well with the children. And that's why I tell teachers, don't let anybody tell you that because you are training babies, you are in baby class. If you're a preschool teacher, say hi. Hi. You have a special place in my heart. Yes. Don't let a physics teacher come and tell you that what do they do there? Because if you don't set the foundation right, there is no way they are going to be able to build. Yeah, there is no going to be physics. So we are very, very keen about the foundation. We respect every field, but we know that if we do not set it right, if we do not teach that child how to read, we do not teach that child how to potty train, we do not teach that child how to write, there is no way the child is going to learn sciences. So we are very, very particular about LES training and of course development, impacting and influencing teaching processes for a 360-degree professional capacity improvement. I've explained it before you joined the call. I said that a 360-degree professional capacity improvement meant that a teacher that will pass through the field of whether LES training or every other kind of training that we offer at EdPress, we have a good knowledge of what it means to have a child in a Montessori setting. We have a good knowledge on special education needs of the child. We have a good knowledge of school leadership and management. We are very, very particular about making sure that teachers have additional assigned role. Because if they do not know, how do they practice? The health and safety of the child is also important. So you're not going to say that I am in the class and the only thing I can do is just to teach. No, we want you to have more skills. Handwriting skills important, technology skills important. These are the core things that we are looking out for. We have already designed for you to learn in EdPress, and you'll be seeing lots of them today. So, professional capacity improvement. And how do we achieve some of these things? Our mission, therefore, is now to mentor, to train, to educate, empower educators, you and I, so that you can have the right tools, so that you can have the right skills. We want to help school system also thrive with lifelong learning experiences. And that's what we've been doing through training like this, demonstration, implementation. We go to schools, sit down with the schools, implement strategies, Nigeria-based strategies, of course, and of course any other global standard education practices that will be suitable for the child. Because we are not raising the child only for the Nigerian community, we're also raising the child for the global community. And that's what we've been able to do at EdPress. And it's such a pleasure to have you here. We have a couple of teachers here, and they are from different schools. Some of them are, they have their NC, some have their BEd, some do not have, and some are in school. Some are in school already learning, and we have so a mixed multitude of what we have. And we hope that moving forward we'll be able to encourage more people to sign up for the TRC, because I was just educating them before this call began about what they stand to benefit if they have a TRC license and a whole lot of other things. And this is why we are here. So thank you for listening to me as I proceed with my training. Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Dr. Jude. Yes. Okay.
The web. Okay, Mr. Asis,
Visual space.
Yes, it was. No, no. I can't still stay. Change it from speaker to Bluetooth. Like, is it connected? It's connected already.
Flip the camera to the back.
It matters a lot. So, thank you. We shall be here with you. And as far as we can candidate to be part of the program, then the sections we're going to ask 1 or 2 questions as we go on, but we'll listen first, and we're going to maybe ask questions if need be, and then we would like to also know how to evaluate actually the performance at the end of the exercise. How do you evaluate them? And then the other things we shall be requiring from you. So we're now going to finish your training.
Good morning, Ma. Please, can you kindly help me respond? Good morning, Ma. Are we listening? Yes. We can all hear you, Ma.
I should add it. 319569. Yes. So connection successful. So what should I do? Huh? What should I do?
Is it to Australia? Is it to any of these African countries? We belong to International Forum for Teaching Regulatory Authority and African Forum for Teaching Regulatory Authority. For me not to take much of our time, I would implore us to pay attention and then take our webpage. You can visit our webpage to get more details, and you can equally reach us. We have our call center. If there are any questions that you need to, to ask, you can reach us at our call centers. So I think I will just stop here. Like Mr. Juice said, observe the training, ask questions at some point, and then give our feedback after the training and do official feedback as well. Thank you so very much, and I wish us a successful training.
Okay, thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. Okay, so we'll just go on with the first class now, so that you can just pay attention to what we are doing. All the understanding, I hope you understand everything she said. From the PQU to the Cpd Teachers training, all is just every single teacher in the Nigerian classroom gets the right knowledge and of course the right certification for them to be qualified to stay in the class. That's why CRCN is here to stay. Thank you. So let's move on. So we start off by with the first class, and that will be introduction to early childhood education. So like I said, we are very big on early childhood education, and that's why we are here. At EduCrest, we believe so much that if you as a teacher can get it right, and you are getting it right, especially from the foundation, we are very certain that the children in the ECE setting, every foundation, every other professional can build upon what you have built on. So what exactly is early childhood education? Only the board and the marker. So can someone try? I want you to give us an understanding. What do you have an idea? You know, we learn from known to unknown. So in education, you don't just come with your own understanding. You will first ask your audience, ask the children, do you know that? Yes. So early childhood education, what do you say that early childhood education is? What is early childhood education? Say early education. Tell me. Okay, so early childhood education is a field of learning. Let me just put it like this. That is very interested in what children do at the earliest time of their life. The earliest time, because we believe that when a child is rightly taught, that child will go far. When a child is rightly taught, have you noticed that, say for instance, we have private secondary school, private secondary school, public secondary school, and then we have the public primary school and public secondary school. But you will see that, I think until recently, that we start seeing a lot of immersion into the public school setting where you see, because I will not try to demarcate the public school space. You need to go to public secondary schools in Nigeria now, public primary schools, and you need to see what they are doing. In their preschool classes, you will be amazed that a lot of things have changed. Before now, what you would normally experience is, you're welcome, man. What you normally experience is that you will see that people will be like, oh, I'll prefer my child to go to private school first, so that I can give my child a good foundation before going to secondary school. But it's not so again. As many that have the ability, either private primary school or public primary school, they can take their children there. As a matter of fact, I used to advise people that if you don't have the ability to put your child in a good private school, just go to public school. Because you have quality teachers, you don't analyze the learning system in those settings. But then, here we are. So early childhood education is empowering children. So, it's empowering children with the knowledge, empowering children with the right knowledge, skills, and abilities. Suitable for them to live in harmony with themselves, their immediate and their global community. Empowering children with the right knowledge. What kind of knowledge? I say, and I will still maintain that you do not give what you don't have. It is a measure of what you have that you can give to children. And a measure of what you have, or a measure of what you know, is what to make the children in the ECE setting to perform their best. So if you as a teacher have a poor knowledge or have a poor understanding of what the ECE setting is supposed to be like, you will do it wrongly. I talked about some theories that I was mentioning. I'm going to go. So here we are introducing you to early childhood education. So we have the core principles of early childhood education. There are 4 core principles of early childhood education. So pause here. So let me take the definition again. Early childhood education is what? Empowering children with the right knowledge, skills, capabilities and abilities necessary for them to live in harmony with themselves, their immediate and their global community. That's definition number one. Definition number two states that early childhood education is purposeful and targeted early intervention. Purposeful and targeted early intervention. One will wonder, why would you say purposeful? Purposeful is that I gave the scenario before we started this call officially, and I said that if you are not intentional about working with children, you have no business working with children, because beyond your ability to teach the children to write ABC is a need for you to pay attention to every other thing. So what does purposeful have to do here? Purposeful is meaning that you're paying attention. You know your role. I want to teach a subject. I am purposeful about that subject. I want to teach I do not come to the class without an instructional material. That is purposeful. Purposeful and targeted early intervention. Everything we do is that if we don't do it on time, we will miss out on it. A help that comes late may be a useless help. Do you understand? Because it's only a timely help at times that will actually save the day. They say a nick, when something is going to go really, really bad, they will be like, oh, thank God you came on time. If you had come a little, time longer, there would have been a problem. That's what we're saying. We're saying that if you're going to teach the child pencil grip, teach it on time, teach it purposefully. If you're going to teach the child, how to count, teach it purposefully. If you're going to teach the child how to read, if you're going to teach the child letter formation, teach it purposefully, because if you do it wrong and you're doing it, it's just like a waste of time. Because correcting that anomaly will even take a longer time. So purposeful and targeted early intervention is what we stand to do in the field of early years. And I'm always very compassionate. In fact, maybe because I started off with, but then I know that if I did not have a part of me that really yearns for the field of early years, I most likely would have switched my field. The field of early years requires a lot of sacrifice, and we need dedicated educators that are very intentional, that are very, very purposeful about working with children to be able to work in those fields. And those people need to be gifted. No, those people need to be qualified. You see this idea that I'm a gifted teacher. I was a very gifted. In fact, I was doing some things when I was not, because I was in school and I was working. I was in school and I was working. It is when I now get to the class and they'll be like, oh, there's a theory called SYZ. That's when I realized that, but I was practically doing that thing before. So your giftedness may have shown. We play a scenario of a delivery personnel that had a traditional knowledge of betting children. If this goes south, do you think the person can manage it? But if the person is a trade personnel, don't the person know that, oh, this person is losing blood, this person is losing water? You will just be trying to manage the situation and the things will go back. So when we say purposeful and targeted early intervention, we say it with all sense of duty, because we owe it to the child what we call a duty of care. Now, one is wondering, if Odetunde is talking so much about early years earlier, what happened to the secondary school child? Does it mean that once we miss it at the beginning, there is no remedy? No, you still have the opportunity. So be it you are in year 1, be it you are in year 2, be it you are teaching physics, be it you are teaching chemistry, be it you are even working with children in the university, you can still intervene in a child's learning. Designing an IEP. IEP is called Individualized Education Plan. When you see or you meet a child that has a seemingly issue that is proving to you that the child has missed something in their life, that missed, say for instance, you're a year 6 teacher, a child has missed proper understanding of how to spell. We cannot say that you should remove that child from that class and bring the child to early years so that we can solve that problem. We will not do that for you. You are going to do that. You are going to design what we call an IEP. An IEP is an individualized education plan where you're saying that, you know what, you have every opportunity to recreate a curriculum to suit the need of the children in your classrooms. Do you understand? You have every opportunity. So long is for the child. Remember the first destination, I said empowering children. What's the purpose of education that doesn't empower a child? there is a problem. So if I have the opportunity for me to redesign that education so that the child in the EC setting can learn, I should be able to do that. Now, am I changing the entire Nigerian curriculum? No. But for this particular child, I know that this child needs help in reading. I focus on reading, or I redesign reading. Even though the child will be placed in the class, I would redesign the learning for the child so that the child will learn. So when we say purposeful and targeted early intervention, we are saying that irrespective of any time you meet a child, do something on time to save the day. Irrespective of any time. Anytime you meet a child, anytime you meet a situation that is seemingly like a troublesome situation, do something to save the day for the child. Now, what are the core principles of early childhood education? Number one, learning begins from conception. So in the field of many years, that's why we are very particular. So when we're working with parents, we're working with teachers, see, the reason why I am interested in educating the teachers is because I know that if I educate you, you can educate the parents. Do you understand? Before the children themselves, now let me explain. So if you understand that, any childhood education, if you know, because I'm going to explain the concept of learning begins from conception. In fact, a further school of thought explains that before you conceive, you have the right to prepare your own, yes or no. You have the right to tidy up the space. You have the, because you're saying that I think I'm ready to become a mother now. So you have the right to, you will not continue smoking, you will not continue drinking, you will not continue opening yourself to unhealthy lifestyle. You would want to take folic acid and some of these vitamins to prepare that space because you're saying that I want to house an healthy child. I want to create for the child an enabling environment, an environment where the child will be able to thrive. Some of the errors that happen, this child defects, these birth defects that happen as a result of deficiency and a matter of some other things, genetic and other things. If those people, do you think that if they have the opportunity to prepare their body and rewrite the story of whatever anomalies their body did to that child, don't you think they will want to change the story? They will want to change it. So when we say that learning begins from conception, we're saying that the moment somebody decides to be a mother, you owe it to that child what we call the duty of care. You cannot risk living a careless life. Now you are here as teachers, you're going back to the world, you're going back to the school to tell the parents how. So you are a mom of first child, you are conceiving another child, or you're working with teenagers, or you're working with youth in your church, or you're working with anybody, and you're saying that, let me help you to know what you need to do before you start thinking of becoming a mother. Because we are very conscious of the fact that learning begins from conception. Now, this is where we now have the prenatal care. We have the antenatal care. Do you understand? The antenatal care, now a mom that is going to bring a child. Remember, our goal as educators, we don't have any business in the field of education if we are not going to work with children. Whether you are a vendor that sells school uniform, the goal is that the customer is who? The child. Whether you are the one producing books for the school, your goal is that you're working. So every one of us, it is like an ecosystem. That ecosystem must meet the need of the child. You cannot therefore now produce a material that is harmful for the child. So the school furniture person needs to understand that learning begins from conception, because when they are preparing the furniture that is supposed to be in the preschool setting, they know that this child, if I do not have, there will be a deformity because of the height of the chair and the table for the child. So learning begins from conception is saying that antenatal care. Somebody needs to educate somebody about the fact that there is a life living inside of them. Because if they get it right from the inside, when they met the child will be safe for us to watch over. Do you understand? Learning begins from conception that you can pick up a book and train and read for the child, reach to the child. We that we are Africans, they will tell you that if you're pregnant, you go walk in the sun, you put pin, those things. It's a concept of saying that something is already, there is a being that is acknowledging your presence in the world, even though the child is not in the world with you. I saw a clip on Facebook about, these sonographers, when you go to do scan, and, they do 3D. There's a 3D sonography that will show you a little image of that child in the real form. And then getting so excited, or when I drink sugar, when I drink Coke, the child will just start moving. That means that the child is learning. The child is responding to the things that you are doing on the outside. So learning has commenced. So we're not going to wait until the child gets to secondary school before we start putting into place the things that will help the child to read well. So where do we start teaching? If you have an understanding of the fact that learning begins from conception, you will help a parent educate the parents about what they need to know and do differently with the children in their tummy, right? And then by the time they are producing for you, the child that will come to your school, you are receiving a child that has been exposed to a healthy lifestyle that is coming to the school with a background information. If I read every day to my child, that child will have a sound knowledge of books. If I am a sporty person while I'm pregnant, if I do non-job activity, you see that child will come out. You put the child is already racing. It's not like the child will race immediately, but the child has seen your lifestyle. The child has copied your lifestyle while they are there, because they were not just sleeping and waking up. They see that this person has a lot of energy. It's going to rub off on the children. And we're saying this because our goal is very intentional. We want to make sure that we're able to raise children that are able to live in harmony with themselves, their immediate and their global community. The goal of education isn't for us to keep learning under the ocean. We want to make sure that every learning that the children acquire through us is a learning that lasts a lifetime. Let's go on to the next one, principle. Another principle of early child education is that caring and educating the child. Caring and educating the child. Are inseparable. Let me explain. So, excuse me. Okay, we can't put it first. Sorry about that. So, caring for children and educating them are inseparable. Let me help you explain. Caring for children, educating them, inseparable. You cannot be a teacher that's careless about children. So, we see teachers saying that I'm a qualified teacher. My job is to work and teach, nothing else. No. Your job, I will say it and say it again, we owe it to the child what we call a duty of care. A duty of care. We cannot work with children if we have no emotions. Now, we cannot now say, I know that there are some non-teaching staff around us here. See, this caring for children, because some people used to think that the duty of care is for the nannies. And the teachers are supposed to wear their high heels and come to the class, and the only thing we're supposed to do is to teach. No. When the moment you sign up for working with children, you must allow your emotion to work with your duty. So a child comes to the school all moody, and let me tell you, this is the class. You are not going to give me that gloomy face. We are here to learn, and learning it is alone. No, how is that child going to learn? Now, maybe because of the other, like someone will say, I cannot give the 99, I am not Jesus to come after the one. But the thing of the matter, you can take a pause and say, can everyone just cheer up the child? Can we just encourage our friend? Now, we're going to talk about that situation later. Is that fine? Or can you give me, guys, can you give me like 5 minutes? Let me quickly talk to our friend to know how to help our friend come out of this emotion. Wouldn't that be a better approach? So, caring for children and education, these two items, they must go together. You cannot say that you're a teacher that cannot touch mess, especially for preschoolers. So your child has mess in their nostrils, and you're saying that until the nanny comes, I'm not going to touch. Do you know a child can choke in their vomit? So if you're going to wait until the teacher, until the nanny comes, what will happen to the child? I have a quote that I share often, and I said, children do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. So they don't care whether you have BEd, you have NCE, you have You know, you have every qualification whatsoever. They want to see how much care, how much love do you have for me? Are you going to keep opening me up to danger in the course of your duty because you just want to preserve your job? Are you not going to pay attention to hazardous things in my environment? That's why I said every single person must know. The vendor in the EC setting must know about this. That caring for them. So you're saying that this particular furniture is well designed for the child. Do you think that this furniture is not hazardous to the child? Do you think this furniture will not be such that will pose danger to the child? Those are the questions we must begin to answer in the field of early years. So, caring for children, we cannot be teachers and not do it well. We cannot be carers and say that, oh, the teacher is not in the class. So it's not my duty. It's not my duty to touch their books. And 2 children are fighting with pencils. And you are saying that, well, my job is just to sweep. Would you like to be in that kind of environment? Let me show you a scenario. Caring for children and educating them. So a particular child brought some substance to the school. Brought food. You know, normally when we open, especially in preschool, we help them with their food. Do you know that the house girl of a certain family puts hypo in the bottle of a child to come to the school? So if the teacher just opens or just says that everybody take care of it, did not pay attention to what liquid the child may be bumping in, do you know that they will say that it is in the school that accident happened? So if we are not caring, if we are not opening our eyes to see what is happening in our environment, we will be the one that will be enabling dangers to the children. And we don't want to be like that. Another scenario happened that, you know the foot flags of children. Some mothers are very wonderful. You know that rubber band, that lid. The inside, some people don't use a sponge and spoon to swipe. You've had that experience, right? By the time we open them, you will see it's black. You will see maggots. Yeah. In the school. So how do I say that educating the child is only my business in the field of early years? That's not only my business. I must care. I must pay attention to how the child is faring. Because if I do not do that, I will miss out on some things that will be beneficial to the child. So that's another principle of early childhood education. That's the top principle is that parents and caregivers should make the most of every moment. I'm sure some of you are wondering how I'm able to teach this class offhand. I've taught it so much in my life that I cannot forget your line. Make the most of every moment. So let me explain what that means. Parents and caregivers. See, when you have an understanding of this, if you go back to your schools and you educate parents about caring for children and educate, so the father is not going to tell you that I'm looking for money alone. I said in one of our classes, I said presence is not love. The fact that you are present, that you are available, that the child is seeing you does not mean that the child is seeing that you are caring about them. Quote me. Presence is not love. Care is the real love. Do you understand? So that somebody is saying that, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm watching out for the child. The question is, are you educating the child? Do you understand? Are you just there to play the role of a nanny? And somebody is saying that, I'm walking up and down. I'm everywhere. Is the child feeling loved that this person is actually part of their life? See, in the entire field of education, be it preschool, primary, secondary, or university, the goal is something, is coming back to who? The child that will benefit from the education that we are providing, yes or no? It is the child that is going to benefit that we are. So now, this now leads us to this next line. Parents and caregivers should make the most of every single moment. What are the moments that we see? We see milestones. Milestones. The first step that the child takes. The time that the child goes to their number 2. The time that the child is outside doing sports. Let's make the most of that moment. Let's celebrate the child. Let's do away with this Lord and master attitude in the school system, where the children have to see us and they either have to scamper away or they have to rethink and change the pathway. And so person is coming, they will disappear. Is that the kind of children we want to raise? That's not the kind of are very conscious about the opposite sex, at least. Now we should make the most of every moment. We're saying that I see you the first time that you lose your tooth. Do you understand? And I make you feel comfortable, even though the fairy tale thing that we used to say when we were small. Some of us would throw it on the pan and we say, and then they came again and they said the fairy godmother will bring something. And we just make fun out of it. Or the first time you are able to spell the longest word ever. And we're making the most of the moment. We're celebrating, we're helping you to see clearly that you know what you matter. Can we make the children in the ECE, you're welcome, ma. You make the, can you let us sit on the plastic chair, because that chair is not, yeah. Sorry about that. That's what we say. Do you understand? You pay attention to your students. Do you understand? Yes. So you pay attention to your students. So, because caring for children and educating them is what? Inseparable. So I'm not so conscious about the things I'm teaching that I forget to care about someone that needs a good teach, right? No. So when we're talking about parents and caregivers should make the most of every moment. Every moment. The first time a child did something, now the first time a child did something wrong, we could make the most of it. Because I'm going to sit on you and I'm going to make you know that I'm sorry, what you did was absolutely unacceptable. I'm going to help you understand that behavior is absolutely unacceptable. I'm going to discipline the child in love. If there are consequences of their action, they are going to bear it in love. And don't forget, the Nigerian system, if you think that Nigeria don't have a child care law, don't fall into the trap of hitting somebody's child wrongly. They will come for you. The government will come for you. That's when they open the constitution that protects the child in Nigeria. Your eye will now be clear. So when we are apportioning discipline, age-appropriate discipline, we know some of the things we do in the early years, face the world, we use positive reinforcement. That's another way we educate the child in the system. Positive reinforcement. I've not said what you have done is wrong, but I'm celebrating people that have done it right. Wouldn't you learn like that? If I tell you that, I don't need to tell you that you did not do it well enough. I will not celebrate people that are doing it well enough. And you will like, so why did I not get the sticker? It's because you did not do it well. You understand? And you will adjust. So make the most of every moment. Make the most, celebrate the wins of children. Celebrate their wins. Let children feel loved in your setting. Do not be that tigress or tiger in the school setting. Every time you're always screaming. I taught a couple of teachers, I taught them about the indoor and the outdoor voice. I am using my teachers, but I am not screaming. You understand? This is my teacher's voice. It is audible even without a microphone. Then how do you now talk to children and the next thing, hey, Shayo, stand up for that place. Yeah, come here. But how do you just want to tell me to stand up now? Do you have to scream? Do you understand? You can use an audible voice. You need not use a shouting voice. I hope you're getting me. Let the children understand so that when you offend, they can get the book. Say, excuse me, did I not tell you to dress nicely to come to school today? Miss Kuti, excuse me, did I not tell you to wear official dress if you're coming to school today? So you can see that the tone of my voice has changed. They will understand when discipline comes in. People Miss Kuti was like, Zana. Like, why now? So if you do not know how to balance it, every time you're always shouting, your voice is always on fire, how do children regulate you? They will not even be able to tell. When you are given a rule, they will not be able to tell. So make the most of every moment. Celebrate the win. Play with fun. The last point is that play is the work of the child. For people that are working in the secondary school, they cannot relate. They're like, Azam. So this is like, because I need to teach physics. Don't tell me play is the work of a child. I have another secondary school teacher here, like, don't tell me play is the work of a child. You may not see the video, we have recording live on YouTube so that you can concentrate. You understand? You can always check the video. But I want you to listen and listen well. You get the videos and it. So basically, when we say play is the work of the child, this play here comes with a whole lot of responsibility. If I teach you about play, you will know that play is work. It's constructive play, dramatic play, lots of different kinds of play that the child will think in their mind that they are playing. But you do teamwork in that. You do the PLP, building learning power. We do scaffolding inside play. We do modeling inside play. Because the child is innocent in their mind, they think they are playing, but we are doing team building. We are teaching them about temperament. We are teaching them about people in their community. We are teaching them about gravity and their play. You know, children like to do, right? They like to put their hands on things. So play is the work of the child. If you understand this, either you're teaching chemistry, biology, geography, maths, literacy, and every other, you will know that I will embed into every single learning of the child play, and the child will be functional in the setting. I would know that the children, see, let me tell you, if you're not Yoruba, please raise up your hand. I know that Mr. Francis Jude is also not. So in my culture, we call Ore and Ota. Ore means friend, Ota means enemy. So when I was going to learn about this thing about plus plus minus equals something, you know those things that you're saying, you know those terms like minus plus minus is plus plus is so till now I still struggle to remember that thing. Let me tell you, if I want to do any maths, my maths teacher when I was in primary school, and by the way I went to a public primary school. I finished with the public, I started off with the private, I finished with the public primary school, and I went to the public secondary school. You understand? So celebrate. So my teacher then taught me that Aurel Tami, the friend of my enemy, is obviously what? My enemy. Simple as what? So she just brought us out like the friend of my friend is obviously mine. You don't see the enemy of my enemy is mine. No, the enemy of my enemy is my what? Friend. No, friend. The enemy of my enemy is what? My friend. You can see now. Can you see the concept? So these things are. I kid you not. Every time I try to figure out every time I try to figure out that until I go back to my language to say that ọ̀rẹ́ mi ni, ọ̀tá mi, ọ̀rẹ́ mi ni, ọ̀rẹ́ ọ̀tá mi ni. You understand? Like I will not be able to fathom and solve that question beyond that level until I'm able to use my. So if my teacher had made it so sure, I cannot understand it. And this person had to prayer. If you know this person is not your friend, that's how she did it. A long time ago. Say, okay, call me the person that you are not talking to in this class. You know, we're young then. Like this one is not my best trainer. I said, who is the friend of this person? She arranged her. I said, this person to you. Is he of his hand? No, this person is not my friend because it's not. She's playing with the person that is not my friend. The life of a child is not hard, right? So if we have this understanding, we will know that play is the work of the child. Because in play, during play, the child will learn. Now, one thing is that if you bring this play now, you're bringing it back to this thing, caring. Because you're creating an environment where I'm now going to come back here to this individualized education plan, where I am saying that the child in the ECE setting, the child in the ECE setting, I can know that child like Bookie, I am so we call Bookie. I know that Bookie isn't getting this plus times plus equals this. I now created a play, making sure that Bookie is able to get this understanding. Whereas I taught the child maths because I was focusing on individualized learning experience for Bookie alone. Can you see? But then we were playing. But then in that play, I showed them that I care about that their enemy that they don't talk to. I showed them that I care about the father. I don't want them to feel bad about the person they are not talking to. You know, not that we are encouraging bad behavior, but you understand what I'm saying. So, caring for children and educating them is inseparable, has led us to knowing that play can be constructive. So the items that the children bring to your spaces, the items that they bring to your classes, sorry, the items that you have in your school should be an item that would encourage growth in the mind of that child. However plain it wants to be. If you have a slide that has a poking side of it, that you look at, if children keep sliding on this thing, it will hurt them. I would rather abandon it than to leave. If you have a table that has spikes in it, can you take your time to do away with that thing or fix it? Because as the children are learning in your setting, if they are endangered, they will not want to return the next day. One thing I would not encourage anybody to do, if you're a teacher that each time a student in your school sees you, they will run away. Change your ways. Now, we have firm teachers. I can be very strict. I can tell you that if you are in trouble, if I'm mad at you, you know I'm mad at you. And I can show you that, like, auntie, what have I done to you? No. Do you understand? It's because you must be able to create a balance. Let's run along so that I don't keep you waiting for too long. So can I get a wiper, please? So we're going into the 5. This is my last session. This is like the 3rd level now. We're going into the No. It's like we're going into the principle of learning. Yes. Okay, I've misnamed it. So we're having the powers, the components, the components of early childhood education. Now, whether you're working in the college or you are just you are the library attendant in your school, every single learning that we're taking here is going to be beneficial to you. So let's get started. The components of early childhood education. Sorry. So I usually will go with this word PILES. And I'm going to draw arrow down to all of them as number one being physical development. If you're a teacher in this setting, remember that caring for children and educating them are inseparable, right? So that means that you cannot say that the only thing you're working with children, you're just so particular about the education of the child, so much that you are not paying attention to the physical development of the child. So all of us that are school owners, that used to take away sports time from children. God is watching us. And all the teachers that would not allow children to come out for sports time. So you want to go out for sport as well. Have you finished copying that you are not going out for sport? God is watching. You know them here, right? Yes, they can identify themselves. Please show their face. So basically, the physical development, children grow. Children grow at different paces. So we're growing when we're sleeping and even when we're playing. As we grow a little older, we can do more things as I am growing. And so are you. That's a bunny song. Say grow. Everybody stand up. Let's go. Stand up. Let's go. Grow. You are going to work on your tippy toe now. Grow. If we do it every day, let's go. Grow. If we do it every day, let's go. Grow. If we do it every day. Say it now. Grow. If we do it every day, let's go. Grow. If we do it every day. We cry when we're sleeping. And even when we're playing. As we grow a little older. We can do more things. As I am growing. on Facebook a robot that gave him in a Belgium robots festival or something. The robot just revolted. He was on the floor. Even the robot can revolt. Yes, or no? The robot can lose his capability to obey you. They said the remote started malfunctioning and these robots started doing. They were trying to hold the robot. The robot was just kicking them. How much more humans? So we as practitioners, we owe it to the child a duty of care. And we can only do this when we make sure we provide for the child an opportunity for them to exercise their bodies. This understanding may not be taught in books like, these are the ways to do it. We need to know. That is why continuing professional development is available for you. You have a good knowledge, a good understanding of what it takes to work with children. Children are in the ECE setting. You keep them in the class from morning till night. This cannot be possible. Give them activities that keep them engaged. Give them activities that get them, to exercise their bodies. Children like to do things. In one of the theories I taught, in one of the weeks I was online, we taught a particular theory about child development milestones. It was Cpd, a particular, I think, pre-operational stage. So Cpd has 4 stages. He has the pre-operational stage, he has the concrete operational stage, formal operational stage, and these stages have some attributes that the children, at some point, the child doesn't want to sit still. The child is saying that allow me to jump, allow me to do things. In fact, one of the stages, another theory even acknowledges that when children get, I think this thing that I'm saying. So one of the objectives of we opening teachers up for theory is that, the way lawyers know their code. When a lawyer can quote, please, I beg you, if you do not do any, if you have finished school since 1980 something, take your time to keep attending trainings and conferences, because that is where the renewal of your mind comes in. You should be able to call the names for theories and tell us the things that they do. A particular theory I was going to refer to is the psychosexual theory. You understand? And this particular theory has it that when children are in a certain age, this zone of proximal development dies naturally, and it now goes into activity. And usually when they are in, they want to fight. When they are in a lower age, there are some things, I don't want to mention those things that will be, but that zone of CPD comes up in this stage, and the things that the child wants to do is that the child wants to do sports, the child wants to do games, the child wants to carry face. That energy is just so much in there. When you shake a Coke bottle now, you shake the Coke bottle, now leave it, what will happen? It's like it wants to burst, right? Yes. That's the way, that's the state those children are at that stage. Now you now have them in your school. Decide to make them sit all day. Dear teachers, so people are really feeling like, they have catched me. This auntie have really caught us. Now that's how it's going to be, because really the essence of you coming to a CPD learning is so that you can renew your mind. You may have forgotten, it's not your fault. You understand? But when you attend conferences, when you attend seminars, when you attend training, you open yourself up to the things you may have forgotten or the things you do not even know about at all. So physical development. In this physical development, there are 2 areas. We have the fine motor skills and the gross motor skills. So while we work with children, we want to develop in them and want to help them maximize their fine motor skills and their gross motor skills. You see, everybody, let's go like this. Go like this. Do it. Can you do it for let's just keep at it, exercise it. You will tell me what's happening to your fingers. How do you feel? How does this place? How does it feel? It aches, right? And after a while, you see that your hands will relax. Take your time once in a while to do this. You understand? You're exercising your muscles. Now, for the little baby that is just coming to your school, it is not your job to rush and give the child pencil. However dramatic their parents will be. However dramatic. Give them crayons, give them tracing materials to work with. Do not give them pencils on time. Allow the child. Can you give me the pen? on that shelf. I think we need to have a display. Yes, I think. Yes, the pegs. When you do the pegging exercises with children, you're helping them to exercise their pensile grip. There's another one that we use. We have the rubber band technique. You expand, you bring it, you expand. Because when I'm able to, so you have this. You see, this thing, as simple as it is for me as an adult, if you give it to a baby, it will be difficult. But you see the day the baby can press this thing hard, that baby has gotten hold of this place. So this activity is an activity that's very, very important in the preschool level. When you work with children and you're able to make sure that they keep practicing, they will think that they are playing, right? And you're telling them, say, everybody, see, if your own is not opening, I want to come and catch it, I want to come and catch it. And if your own is not open, my own will catch it. And they are not looking at it, that they are thinking that you are playing. But one day they will press it hard enough and they will open it. That's why you should give the child a pen. That's why you should give them a pencil. Give them crayons. Let them work with it. Because what you'll be experiencing is that they will not be able to firmly write down numbers on the board. You will be seeing it so fainty. Now, children usually get excited about their own successes also. So when we say in one of the principles the other time, we say that make the most of every moment. A child that is not able to write number one is feeling frustrated even more than you. Don't think that you are the only one obsessed. That child is not excited about their own inabilities also. The child in the EC setting is saying that I wish I could do it. And that's why when they can't do it, how do they feel? They feel bad. Now, do you see where the caring for children is now coming in? Where I say that, you know what, it's alright, I'm going to help you achieve this. Let me give you some activities to do. I also would always encourage fast markers like this. So, rather than giving them the books, let them come to the board. You can have a small board. Usually we have a small board there where they are able to cut it. This is Eunice. Yes, go and dial your number.
Is this live video?
Hope it did not disconnect now. So this kind of marker, I apologize about that. This kind of marker will be faster one. You could bring it, but so when I see what I'm writing, I will not print it. If you give me pencil, it will not show. But if you give me marker, it will show, right? So let me tell you, the magic that happens to the brain of the child, when the child is able to see their own success, if you cannot read their mind. But I tell you that children are excited to please you. Children in your school, they are excited to please you. Not even themselves. They want to see that what is getting you upset, they have the ability to solve it. What is getting you worked up? You have been teaching you 2 letter words. You do not know. And one day and he says, Auntie, I can recite my 2 letter words. As. You see, I did it. They are telling them, I did it. Don't you see children like that? They'll be so excited. My son will come home and say, you know what? When he was struggling to copy from the board, like, you know what? I could copy from the board now. I was able to write, and I'm able to, when he started reading, everybody did not rest. He would just go, you see, I can read it. Say, what's your best? What's that one, mommy? I say, call lawyer. I could not. Yes, I read that one. See, I read 3 words, and mommy gave me the 4th one. You can see like that. Children are excited to please you. They're excited to do the things that you want. So you taking away these fine motor skills. When you take away physical development, you're taking away fine motor skills. When you take away fine motor skills, the child will not be able to do things with their hands. When you take away gross motor skills, the child will not be able to do things with their hands. Everybody stand up. Stand up. I can cut my numbers. Cut my numbers. I can 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 cut my numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, we've done gross motor skills. Sit down. That's activity that we do with the entirety of our body is what we call gross motor skills. That thing that we do that helps the child get excited about learning. That's what we do. So it's not until you take the balls and you hit it, it's part of it. You throw. Do you know you could have baskets of colors and different balls of colors and you're throwing it into the one and say, let's go. Now everyone go pick red. Everyone pick red. Throw it into the in my own learning. Give me an enabling environment to do that. Let's go to the next one, which is, okay, no, before I go on, this gross motor skills has two parts. The prone and the supine. So this prone is, I want you to pay attention to when you have, remember when you put a little baby, a little baby on the,
It's cutting on this one.
well, so you put a baby on their chest, right? When you put a baby on their chest, what will you try to do? Someone should tell me. They will not be raising their head like this. They will not be raising their head like this. If you have a baby that you put on the mats, and even the new babies that we're having, and you see that it's like those babies, you give birth to the nana and they open their eyes. Have you noticed? So you now put those babies on the mats. Now they are not making any move. They are not making any move. Maybe at the earliest stage of their life, they may not make it. I don't know the month, but at some point they should be able to make those. Now, if you're working with children, you're saying that caring for children and educating them is inseparable. You're paying attention to the milestones of the child, and you're saying that this child is able to know that this child is growing well, but the other child is not able to do that. We have a problem. That problem now leads us to that definition I said, purposeful and targeted early intervention. If someone begins to put flashy items in the face of the child, would the child want to improve on that skills? The child will want to improve on that skills. So our job as practitioners is to make sure that the child in the EC setting does not miss out on any milestone. If you have an understanding of what I'm teaching, you will tell the parents well, right? You will educate the parents well. When you educate the parents well, they will do their part well, right? Eventually, we'll raise a child that is able to live in harmony with themselves, their immediate, and their global community. The child in the ECE setting is also, so this prone is like when you place a child, that's a positioning. The child is supposed to lift their head up. Now, when you lay a child on their back, what do you expect the child to do? A little baby, what do you expect the child to do? Oh, please let me give her a love clap. Do you know the love clap? No, let's do 1, 2. There you go. Yes. So when you lay a baby on their back, what will happen is that they will be kicking into the air. Now you now lay a baby. The baby did not land it in the air. The baby is now there. They are saying the baby is a calm child. It's not used to disturb. You know, school, we always like perfect children. We don't like children that will share. See, the better they stress us, the better it is for us. How can you say a baby is in your crèche and the baby is not doing anything and you are happy about it? No. It is our job to pay attention. When you don't see that, that's supplying. It's when the child lays on their back and the child is kicking into the air. It's kicking into the air. Yes, that child was exercising their physical, ability, so they are developing physically. So our job as practitioners is to make sure that every single child in the EC setting does not miss out on this. This is the physical development. Let's go on to the intellectual development. So write that. Okay. So intellectual development. Intellectual is also called the cognitive. The cognitive. This particular development is helping us to identify how children think, what children know. Okay, you cannot see. Intellectual spell. Intellectual, cognitive. Okay, so because caring for children and educating them is inseparable. My friend at the back says she can Congratulations. Great work. So caring for children and so here the child is saying something. My intellect. What do I know? Now before a child knows, you must know. Before a child knows, you must know. So the question is, what do we know? Dear educators, there must be something that you know. There must be something that you know. Now the measure of what you know is just a measure of how much knowledge you expose yourself to. In this time and age, the internet is available for us. YouTube is available for us. Lots of free learning are available in different websites across the world. You understand? In different websites across the world. YouTube is a free university of learning. The only thing that you search for the things that improves your own development. You're struggling with a child. AI is here. ChatGPT is. I'm not going to talk about the technology side of learning. We have another instructor that is going to take class. There are lots of things you could do. You could do with this advancement of learning that will help the child, because it is what you know that you can create for the child. It is what you know. I tell people that show me children that are intelligent. I'll tell you, call their teacher for you. See, let the teacher come and tell me that they are very intelligent. I don't need to see them. I don't need to see the children that they produce. If I see the children that you produce, I will tell that you are a smart teacher. If I see the children that are in your class, I will tell you a disorganized teacher. I will tell you a neat teacher. You need not to do too much. By the time I see the way your team and your children in your class behave when you are not there, it's enough for me to tell what they will do when you are there, because they see you do most of those things. And then guess what? Intelligence can be learned. It can be taught. Yeah, some people are gifted, they come with lots of smartness from heaven. But the truth of the matter is that if they don't harness their capability, they will not know more. The person that creates time, so putting in more effort into their learning, will outsmart a gifted learner. Will outsmart a gifted learner. You will see those children that are overconfident. What used to happen with the temporary exam? Most of what used to happen? They will mess up now. Because they believe so much in their ability that they forgot to read, or they refuse to read. The reason why I'm able to take this like that, this week I've still got it. That's why I'm not using material. But if I really want to do it, I will still use my mind. At least I should refer to it. I still got a class last night on YouTube. So it's not a matter of you cannot bring things off your intellect. We're saying that the more of what are you thinking yourself in? Invest in yourself. Now, how do you, because really the whole essence is for you to know what to now do with the children. We don't want it to be it's not about me, myself, and I. No, it's about you as a teacher. If you know that these are the components of early childhood education, the kind of activity you do in the face of the child will harness their intellectual capabilities. The kind of activities you will do in the face of the child will be such that the children in the EC setting, they can think. And so I'm not going to open up a yes and no question. So when you set question, preschool teacher don't say, Adam is the first man, yes or no. Can you see? I am a boy, yes or no. How was that challenge the thinking capacity of the child? This is what I'm saying. We have the closed-ended question, we have the open-ended question. These are things that you should learn about. How a question can be tweaked in a way that will help the child to think before answering. How do you design the question? Do you just design the question in such a way that the answer is so glaring for the child? We know we have the subjective, we have the objective kind of question. But all of these things, if you as a teacher, you do not know how to use creativity to design questions, you are opening up the children, you are not helping the intellectual capacity of the children to develop. You understand? So when you come back to say that there is no uprising, the question is, what did we do in the class? Did you not tell them that school is a scam? Did you not show them that it's okay for them to pass even without reading? How the children that are in the EC setting to develop intellectually? Help them to remember things. Give them clues. Give them puzzles. When you are writing numbers before, numbers after, it's not a matter of writing 1 to 100, 1 to 100, 1 to 100 every day. numbers, writing. If they want to take those, they will say that the children in my class they can write 1 to 1,000. If I scatter 1 to 1,000, can they rearrange it? Do you understand what I'm saying? Can they rearrange it? So it's not a matter of in growth mindset, we say that the process is as important as the final result. The process. So it's not just about the child writing 1 to 1,000. What is the process? Can the child understand? Can the child really tell? What have I taught in the learning that will help the child to be able to remember the processes? Learning is very productive if we make sure that the intellectual capacity of the child is harnessed. Help the child to think. Help them to ask questions. Say, hi everyone, there are a number of people in the room. 5 people are boys. The rest, 2 people, there are, you know, number sentence, right? They go, they'll be like, oh, we do it now in math also. I have 5, a basket of fruit. I have a basket of fruit. 5 are oranges, 2 are mangoes, 3 is carrots, and the rest will be words. Do you understand? Probability. Do you understand? So you will now, you see, like as simple as that is, you are brought, because the child needs to think. I want you to know that the total is how many versus what is now supposed to be left. Can you see like that? So the child in the EC setting is saying that help me to think. How can you help children to think? Bring about problem solving skills. Bring about questioning techniques that will help the child to think. Prompts. Bring prompters to the face of the child. Bring puzzles. Make your questions so open-ended that will allow for creativity. When you're marking subjects that are definition-based, do not use your definition to solve the question. Aside from WAEC that have that, I'm sure even WAEC examiners will still give grace to children that still go a little bit around the bush and still get the definition right. Do you understand? So why do you want to say that the way you are defining now is the way the children must define it? You're closing them up. That's what we're saying. You're closing them up. So now the child is saying the same thing. They should be able to give their own idea. They can see clearly. And they will be able to respond. So dear teachers, intellectual development in the field of TC is saying that allow the children to grow. Allow the children to think. Give them questions that will help their minds to be open. And God will do it. So let's go to number 3, which is the PIL. This is the language development. So you just follow it. I want to run along because they said my time is up. Okay, so the language development in the ECE is what are we saying? How are we helping the children to have an arsenal where they can pick up vocabularies from? How are we teaching the subject that we are teaching so that children can remember to use some core vocabularies when they are speaking also? Have you watched children in the Western world? What do? When they are filming, you know that those children, they kind of have a natural way to act. But our own, they will still act, but they will still be looking at, they are still trying to remember their school because it's not, the vocabulary, the use of language, of the use of big words is not something that they are used to. So now, how do you teach it? Because really the essence is for you to know so that you can implement. My goal is to making sure that you are able to implement. So if you are not able to implement, my job is not done. My job is not done. So implementation now comes in. How do I teach children to have great vocabulary? You use descriptive words. Write it. Descriptive words. So you go with something like this. Let's talk about different kind of fruits. Can you tell me a fruit? Pineapple. Can you tell me another fruit? Mango. Can you tell me another fruit? Orange. Apple. Good. I'll pick your fruit. So, can you describe a pineapple for me? It's round. Is a pineapple round in shape? It's spherical in shape. Okay, you just did, in fact, you just gave me a perfect example of what a child would say. He said, it has these things on its head. Now, how about you say it has spines? Do you understand? It has spines on it. It's juicy. In fact, I have a box of, these are my learning materials. I came to my class, so I brought learning materials. See, please, so, and you people should go to class. So all these things doesn't cost a fortune, you understand? They are just, so when you're buying this, the children are sitting on the mat, and you give them something like this to play, and you have taught them, do not chew my toys. They are thinking in their mind that it is a toy, but you are saying, do not chew it. Do not do this and do not do that. And you go like that. Oh, what color is this? And you go like that. Look at, I was going to talk about, the shades, the spike. You understand? If we now have a live one, it will still go a long way. Do you now look at strawberry? We have corn, we have apple, we have berry, we have lemon, yes, pear, and light. You now talk about apple. Apple can either be green or can be red. Okay, we're talking about orange. Orange can be orange, and orange can be yellow, and orange can be green. Yes. In fact, the first time I saw orange that was orange was when we did a fruit day, and some children, it was a very big school, and the children needed to bring food, so they went to buy it in ShopRite. So they brought that foreign orange that is orange in orange. So they add more of it. So we're able to bear the same color of orange itself. It makes it so beautiful instead of holding a yellow orange. You understand? So then we now have another one. So this apple now, apple is crunchy. Can you see? It's juicy also. It has a sweet sour taste. It's not every time apple is sweet. And as so, those descriptive words help us to do what? To have the language development done. Let me quickly wrap up. So my time is up. We have the verbal and non-verbal communication. Verbal and non-verbal communication. So in language, verbal, you could teach, you could have the child, I can stand like this. Just imagine I just come to the class and I'm like this. I'm sure you're like, so what have we done? Do you understand? But then I go, I'm not saying anything, but I'm looking at you and I'm smiling. Do you understand? So you are communicating something. See, it's not until you open your mouth to talk, that's when communication has happened. So language can be what? Can be spoken, can be talked about, can be written, can be heard. They are verbal and they are non-verbal. For the verbal communication skills, please, however your dialect is, I'm a proper Yoruba girl. We can improve on our spoken English. It's not a matter of we are discriminating or not. We are saying that because, let me tell you, it's not because of you. Do you know why? In the class, the children are going to speak a kind of English. Check it. If you have a particular dialect person that use their proper dialect intonation to speak English to children in the class, check it. When the children are like, I am coming now. You not see me? Because at least if it's like that, they will be using those things that their teachers are, the explanations that their teachers are using, they will see it, you will see it there. So please, try to take away all of those things. Yes, we know we are Africans. If we want to speak Pidgin, let us speak proper Pidgin. If we want to speak Yoruba or that, now if you want to speak English, let's speak English. I think it's only the Indians that are excused, that have this anxiety of their own community. You will hear and Chinese, you will hear. For Nigerians, we are quite lucky, right? We are quite lucky, but probably because we have diversity of language, so it helps us. So if you can, just try to speak right. Quick English, speaking right, not a specific thing, does not matter in heaven. What matters is that the children that God has given to you, teach them well. Emotional development. Let me just write it too. Emotional development, because they will bounce me off the stage now. And the fifth one, this is the fourth one. And the fifth one is the social development. Just write this out as I just wrap up. Okay, so that you can at least we have people watching us, so we cannot just cut off. We cannot just cut off like that. So emotional development. I talked about a little bit of it when I said that how the child eats when they are coming to the class. You must pay attention. Caring for children and educating them is inseparable. You cannot tell me that the children in your setting, they are not excited, and you're saying that I'm a good teacher nevertheless. My children does not need to be happy about me. They need to be happy now. If they're not happy, there's a problem with you. there's a problem. If they don't like your class, there's a problem with you. It's not that they are lazy. Yes, you know that children can be very dramatic, but make the children come into your camp now. You are the professional, they are the children. Make them come to your camp. Let them come and know the things that you know, because by the time you come to the class, they say, hello everybody, today we're going to talk about science. Guess what we're talking about in science? We're talking about different colors, right? I know my primary colors. Stand up! Red. What's primary colors? All of you stand up. Red, yellow, and blue. So can we find Miss Victoria is wearing blue? Yeah, we say blue. Yes. Yeah, don't be wearing red. Yes. And then we have yellow. Say yellow. Yes. Now the next time somebody will like, they did not even call me. Please have your seat. They did not even call me because I did not wear. And then most times we can see the colors even in their uniform. You understand? You're teaching colors and you're not involving the children. How are they going to like your class? How are they going to like your class? They will not like your class because you are not involving them. So we want you to involve, because when you involve them, their emotional sense, their emotional well-being is very, very important. We know this time of mental health. You know that this period, everything, my mental health. So please, from now, everyone on Facebook, my mental health, please love their mental health through emotional learning. There's something we also do in learning, we call it social emotional learning. SEL is a theory of learning also. When you do that, you integrate that system into the school. Such that when you come in the morning, hi, oh my goodness, when I was in Greek prep, I did know everybody's name, right? I usually do that. So what's the name? Mabel. Hi, Mabel. So I'm coming in. And I'm like, hi, Mabel. Hi, Shia. Hi, Bisaya. Hi. They say, hi, Mala. Do you understand? It is not because of anything. It's because we have said that before we all settle into the mood of learning. Can we work on one another? So when you work in an organization you don't please, we have a problem with you. We have a big problem with you. Because how do we know when you are going through something? Because every now and then, your face is all there. So the day you don't even appear to be lively, you don't even know how to help them. Do you understand? So teach the children to greet, to say hello to themselves. If someone dresses nicely in your organization, acknowledge who they are. Acknowledge it is a social, it is an emotional development. You're saying that your emotions matter. I see you, I see through you, I see beyond the scheme of work, I see beyond the lesson notes. I see beyond the assignment I gave you yesterday to submit today. I see you. That's what we're saying. So emotional development is saying that allow children to cry. Allow children to cry. In attachment theory, I thought that, please I will share you the link. Attachment theory. See, when children do not express, now how do you tell me that this is not my mommy again? Is it your mommy? So when my mommy drops me in your school, now you are telling me not to dance out. Is it your mommy? So let me cry now. I'm missing my mommy now. You will now begin to regulate it. But you will not just go to the place of the sea. Let me tell you something. This is not your house. I know it's not my house before, so you don't need to tell me. Will you stop crying? Now I'm going to scream the more because now this woman is showing me pepper. I need to just see my mommy. But we always tell parents that school is home away from home. Do we actually prove it? If school is feeling home away from home, we should prove it. When children are crying in our setting, first care about it before bringing in discipline. As the children mature, in fact, you don't even need to stop them from crying. Just bring distraction to their face. We have some teachers that are here. When children, we don't scream too much at them. You don't even need to scream. By the time they see that the entirety of the class is not crying and they are the only one, and in the middle, you are giving them toy. You are giving them and say, yeah, sorry now. You are not picking up the child and whooping the butt of the child. The child will come in. Just in fact, if the child cries too much in your school, it's 2-3 days, max 1 week. By next week, if that child is still crying, there's a problem in that class. There's a big problem in that class. That teacher needs to adjust. That's one. So emotional well-being of the child matters. When children are emotional, when they are coming into the school, ask questions. How are you doing? Hi, Shayo. Hope you had a nice day. Who came to give you today? Ask questions about the children. It's not just about the money. When you see parents and their children, talk about them. Tell them, mommy, how are you today? You look really nice. Oh, mom, I like the fact. They say I'm a pro. Okay, thank you. Okay, social development. You know now. see that I can do this. I think I'm going to have a Guinness Book of Record. I will just have a showdown that, you know what, I want to teach the longest teaching period. Celebrate. Okay, so social development is also how we allow children interact, because children are going to learn. A school is a social agent, right? A school is a social agent, and in a school, we owe it to the child to create an environment that will help them to be able to have a similitude of what the environment, the entirety of the environment looks like. So I need to create a mini society in the school, and I need to create an enabling period where the child can express their social abilities. How do they do that? Teamwork. Through play. When they are playing, they are interacting. When we give them roles, we give them leadership roles, they are understanding what is obtainable in the society. We do career day. That is also, please, when you see some of us do some activities, even school now here, encourage different kind of activities. It will not take away academics. That's what we call social-emotional learning environments. It's not, I know that it can be tiresome, but the truth of the matter is that you will think the children are not learning. They are really, really learning. Do something day. Introduce some of this social learning to the system. I know that it can, they just need the parent to go and solve that, but you will see parents, they will go out of their way to buy food for their children. Have you not seen? Parents will always want to satisfy you. So don't be going to charge for it, because you don't like to play in our area here. You understand? But teach the children rehearsals and all of this, they will be fine. So we're saying that, do social learning. Let somebody come to school like my policeman. I tell you, it doesn't have to do the entire school. It can be a class. You're talking about the culture. Let the children, for that day, only your class. You understand? They are bringing swallow to school that day. They are learning how to behave in the society. You're seeing how a Yoruba person will dress. You're seeing how an Hausa person will dress. You understand? These are the things that are obtainable in the education system. And we're saying that we want you to remember so that you can go back to the class to teach it to the children. And when you do that, you are helping the children to have the right knowledge, the capabilities for them to live in harmony with themselves, their immediate and their global community. I hope with these few points of mine, I'll be able to convince you. I was a social prefect, so I was very good at facing the crowd. So, please, but I hope you learned something. You did learn something. If you're a college teacher, did you think you learned something? You did. So, do you think it's applicable for you also? Very well. So, that's the goal of every question. We want to make sure that we have good understanding of this. So, we have a question here. Then I will quickly talk to our TRCM people so that we'll have a little break and then we'll come back in the next minute. Sorry, please, for our materials. Okay, she's talking about the materials. Okay.
I will have some materials here, some exhibits, I want to show.
Okay, so come around this side now. Okay, so this is not a Montessori class, but in this place, I would rather call all these materials instructional materials. I would rather call them instructional materials instead of calling them Montessori. But then some of them are entirely Montessori materials. So this is a big tag. It comes in it's a tag. If I'm going to take a training on this, it will not be on the table. It will be on the mat. You understand? So we also have, this is a red rod. You understand? It's a rod. We use it for counting. We use it to teach dimension. You understand? Come closer. So this one is an instructional material. It's not a Montessori material. These ones are Montessori before. I've mentioned this. These are shapes. These are shapes. We use these. We also do tracing. We place this on the A4 paper and we help the children trace with markers. So